booty cracks.
Stephen Arthur Younger, more recently known as Yusuf, is recording a videotape. He stops and starts again several times before fully committing to his final draft. Tuesday, at the LA FBI field office, a team is sifting through data that has been collected on suspicious people. When prompted by Brody, a team member responds that the best he has is that a flight school called about an Arab-sounding man wanting to take flying lessons. Brody is unimpressed with the lack of results. An agent comes to Brody and explains that he went over the files they received from the CIA and found something interesting: a man named Henry. Apparently everything about Henry is classified, but he found it interesting that his wife is Bosnian and that she was involved in questionable activities. In the Humphreys household, both Henry and his wife are extremely cautious, having cameras installed all over the house. All news outlets are reporting on Yusuf allegedly shooting a police officer and kidnapping 2 children. The FBI had not been briefed on Yusuf beforehand, and only now find it out. Brody mentions that she recognizes Yusuf. He is listed on their pin board as a suspect they are investigating. Brody demands that his file be brought out. Yusuf has no record of being extremist. He served in the US Army, but his military file is classified. Brody's superior, Jack, arrives and orders that every suspect be brought in and questioned. He needs every agent to work on Yusuf's case. Brody wonders what's going on and says they don't have enough personnel to do it. Jack offers her as much manpower as she needs and doesn't reveal any more details. The FBI turns up at the Humphreys household. Henry quickly calls his acquaintance at DIA, Charles, and tells him about the FBI at his doorstep, urging Charles to relocate him immediately, before hanging up and taking a gun for protection. Charles calls Brody on her personal number and tells her to withdraw her agents immediately. The CIA file about Henry was accidentally leaked to the FBI, and that he is armed and dangerous. They try to contact the 2 agents, but there is no response. Brody sends another team to investigate. They cautiously approach the house, and at the doorstep Henry tries to resolve the situation peacefully after seeing the FBI badge. The 2 agents from earlier have been captured and tied up. They take Henry in for questioning. Henry acts smug and calls them idiots who have no idea what they are doing. When asked for his real name, Henry says they can call him H. Then Charles and Jack enter the room and then break off the questioning. H is under protection and the FBI screwed up. Jack asks Brody for her help on a classified mission and she agrees. Wednesday, agents from the FBI are summoned to an abandoned facility that has been turned into a black site under military command. General Paulson receives them. He is in command. Charles and H are also present. H jokes about being an independent contractor. Jack shows Yusuf's complete tape where he threatens to detonate 3 nuclear blasts in various US cities if his demands are not met. The bombs are set to explode in 2 days, on Friday. Paulson says that Yusuf worked as a nuclear specialist in Iraq and the threat is 100% real. He has not yet made his demands clear yet. Finally, they reveal that they have already had Yusuf in custody for 24 hours. As they are taken to Yusuf to see him in person, Paulson explains that he was caught in a shopping mall, suspecting that Yusuf wanted to get caught. He is tortured with tactics such as cold water, cold air conditioning, sleep deprivation and more. However, H, who is a special interrogator, thinks this is completely useless. His first attempt to prove his point is to take a large object and repeatedly strike Yusuf's interrogator. He is forcibly removed from the chamber and taken into custody himself. Brody comes in and plays good cop, turning off the air conditioning and drying Yusuf off. She asks him to give her information to act on, but he just says it's too early after checking the time on her watch. Paulson gets Brody out of the chamber. She confronts Jack that all of this is illegal and probably ineffective, but they have been ordered to assist the military and must follow it. Brody asks H about the little show in the chamber. He says military tactics will not work on Yusuf because he's an ex-soldier trained to withstand this kind of interrogation. Charles and Paulson come in and ask H for his help with the interrogation, but he will take turns with others. H disagrees and prefers to work alone with a partner of his choice. Paulson mentions that H isn't the one in charge. "You will treat me with respect," says H. He chooses Brody as his partner. Paulson does not see it that way, but the top official comes in and says,
"Yo, nobody gives a fuck about your dude, propaganda, haha, guys, I'm so edgy, bro. I'm so woke, guys. Don't you see, guys, this movie? It's just propaganda, bro. Guys, you see, guys? I know this because I'm awake, guys. I know this, guys, because it's shut up, bitch. We're watching a movie, man."
To give H what he wants. H orders all personnel to leave. He gets his equipment and asks Charlie to call his wife, because although it's top secret, he only eats her food. With the opportunity, H quickly shows what he can do. He asks Yusuf where the 3 bombs are, but after receiving no answer, he emotionlessly chops off one of Yusuf's fingers with a fire axe. Horrified, the military and Brody attempt to put a stop to the measures, but the top official makes it clear that the potentially catastrophic consequences require these extreme measures. H continues the interrogation. They put a plastic bag over Yusuf's head and H cuts a small opening in it so that Yusuf can barely breathe. He takes a knife and says he is his worst nightmare as he begins to cut off his body parts. They try to contact Paulson, but he just tells them to keep going. Brody does not want to accept this illegal torture and leaves the room. She tries once again to talk some sense into Jack, telling him that it's unconstitutional, but there will not be a constitution if the bombs go off. Brody composes herself in the bathroom and H comes in to take a leak. She takes the opportunity to express her
"This stuff happens, Mr. Cow." Okay, and you know what, dude? It's a fucking movie. I'm watching a movie. Stop thinking 3 steps ahead with your fucking political dog shit brain, fake woke dog shit Twitter fucking cucklord blue-haired cuck piece of shit. Watch the fucking images and shut up.
dissatisfaction with his methods, saying that physical pain does not work. H offers to work together and take turns. She will ask questions and he will torture. Brody goes into the chamber and lets Yusuf rest. She plays the good cop, but after telling him that H will not stop, he says that he was prepared for it, which means that Yusuf expected to be tortured. Brody then tries to use his family against him, his wife and children. This does not work, as he says they have 2 days to agree to the demands he has not made yet. Yusuf says that he will state his demands tomorrow. H returns to playing the bad cop. At night he does not let Yusuf sleep a wink, for he tells him that he will break him. Every man has something he lies to himself about. Yusuf just grins and H loses his temper. Thursday, H begins using electric shocks. His wife arrives at the facility at his request and he asks Brody to watch Yusuf. When Yusuf falls asleep, they use the electric shock on him, but the machine malfunctions and does not shut off. They manage to turn it off just in time. Meanwhile, H is enjoying his time with his children and wife. He confirms to Brody that he caused the machine to malfunction so they can save Yusuf, and he gets to feel false hope. Meanwhile, the FBI continues its investigation into where the bombs may have been placed. They are also trying to find Yusuf's family and are hot on their heels. They suspect that one bomb is definitely in LA. Yusuf looks broken as his neck spasms with pain. H asks Brody to massage Yusuf's back while he turns up some soothing music and tells a story in a calm voice about his wife and what she did in Bosnia. That his children were born prematurely, and when he asks about Yusuf's children, he breaks down. H takes this as his cue to continue his torture. Yusuf begs him to stop and shouts that he will talk. Only now does Yusuf make his demands. He wants the President of the United States to announce an end to support for puppet governments and dictatorships in Islamic nations and the withdrawal of American troops from all Islamic countries. The group immediately dismisses the possibility of his demands being met, citing the US government's declared policy of never negotiating with terrorists. But H says they should take the deal because it's just an announcement, they do not have to follow it through. They have less than 24 hours before detonation. Top official tells H to continue with his methods. Brody tries to get through to Yusuf, but he will not give up anything until his conditions are met. H continues with his torture. The FBI obtained the footage from the mall. Yusuf stood there for 23 minutes waiting to be captured, knowing he would be tortured. Paulson argues that all of this might be a hoax and that there are no real bombs. Brody goes into the chamber and takes over H. She accuses Yusuf of faking the threat of explosion in order to make a statement about the moral character of the US as a nation. He finally breaks down and admits that there were never any bombs planted. He never had nuclear material, the bombs are simply empty shells. To prove this, he whispers an address to Brody. Teams of troops are sent out to scout it out. Brody does not believe that it is the hoax that Yusuf claims, because he had previously said that something would happen today. They find a room that matches the scene from the videotape, and they find evidence on the roof. A soldier removes a picture of Yusuf from an electrical switch, triggering a massive C4 explosion in a nearby shopping mall that can be seen from the building they are in. Enraged at the senseless lives that were lost, Brody returns to Yusuf, threatens him with a scalpel, and demands to know where the bombs are. Yusuf has rested and is undaunted. He justifies the deaths at the mall by saying that Americans kill that many people every day. Yusuf says he is not a coward, that he allowed himself to be captured so he could meet his oppressors face to face. Friday. Information comes in that Yusuf got a parking ticket in Dallas. The address was traced to a warehouse where they found a bomb. It appears to be a real nuclear bomb, set to detonate at noon today, which is in 3 hours. It is almost impossible to find the other two in time. They continue to torture Yusuf, but H looks defeated and says he may not crack. H gets back into the chamber and takes off the blindfold from Yusuf. He cracks a smile and winks at him. Meanwhile, the FBI has found Yusuf's wife. She states that she will not say a word until she is able to see her children. Brody threatens her with time in prison if she does not comply. H proposes to use Yusuf's wife against him and brings her before her husband. Her simply speaking to Yusuf is not working, so H threatens to hurt her in front of him. Brody stops him and orders the soldiers to take Yusuf's wife out of the room and away from H. Out of desperation, H slits her throat and she dies in front of Yusuf. H is told that in each city government officials and their families are being evacuated to nuclear shelters. Time is running out and he must finish what he has started. H comes to Yusuf and tells him that he will die today, that there are no limits, that he has been authorized to do everything in his power to obtain information. H steps outside to take a drink of water and Brody tells him that there is no more time and to do everything he can. At that moment, H tells the soldiers to go get Yusuf's 2 children. Outside of Yusuf's hearing, he assures everyone that he will not harm the children. Brody lets H know that if he does anything to them, she will personally see to his death. Yusuf's children are brought in. H makes it clear to Yusuf that he will hurt them if the locations of the bombs are not revealed. Yusuf finally gives in and gives 3 addresses, one in New York, one in Los Angeles, and one in Dallas. However, H does not stop what he's doing. He says that there must be more, which Yusuf is concealing. H asks Yusuf if there is a 4th bomb. Yusuf denies that there is. The others, desperate to free the children from H, break into the chamber and take H out by force. H points out the amount of missing nuclear material that Yusuf potentially had at his disposal and insists that Yusuf has not admitted to the 4th bomb that he believes exists. He points out that everything Yusuf has done so far has been methodically planned out. The top official in charge demands that the children be brought back for further interrogation. H questions this and wonders if he will be able to do what needs to be done. He is given permission. H demands that Brody bring the children back in because her breaking her decency will give him the moral approval that he needs to do the worst thing possible. When Brody refuses to retrieve the children for H, he unstraps Yusuf, sarcastically setting him free. The top official draws his pistol and aims it at H to force him into doing what is demanded of him. Yusuf grabs the top official's gun. He asks Brody to take care of his children and kills himself. Brody walks out of the building with Yusuf's children. The FBI successfully find the locations of the 3 bombs and manage to defuse them just in time. Unfortunately, H was right, there is a 4th bomb and Brody's decency has just cost them millions of lives. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.
What? Brody? Hello? What the fuck is Brody doing? What the fuck is Brody okay? He's throwing it. He's just throwing. It's just weird.